Well, it's almost gotten to the point where it wouldn't seem like the 4th of July in Texas if it weren't for Willie Nelson's big 4th of July picnic.
12th year for Willie to host the event that features plenty of good music and more people than dance at a picnic. The key is, of course, he moves it every year, and now he's moved it to Carl's Corner, 50 miles south of Dallas, where Joe Collum is standing by. Joe?
Ron, it's hard to believe now, but this field behind me is expected to be filled with between 90 and 100,000 people this time tomorrow. Those people will be entertained courtesy of Chris Christopherson, Bruce Hornsby, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and of course Willie Nelson, the superstar and a man who's become a one-man industry. It's kind of phenomenal. This place is plastered with signs that are selling Willie Nelson's favorite beer, Willie Nelson's favorite jalapeno sausage, and Willie Nelson's favorite blue jeans. It's, like I said, really phenomenal for a man who began from very humble beginnings just about 10 miles down the road from here. Abbott, Texas, population 369. The biggest thing in town is the water tower, but every town has a water tower. Only Abbott has Willie Nelson.
And I don't know how many other young folks would sit there with Willie and they would sing.
Doris Skidmore and her husband Olin have known Willie Nelson since he was a baby. Now he lives right next door to them in a modest tree-shaded white wood frame house in Abbott. The Skidmores see him about once every month or so.
Yeah, he comes over every once in a while when he comes in, talks to me. I told him I wouldn't bother him, though.
I said I just wanted to ask a question, see if you knew my nephew wanted to meet Willie.
But this weekend, fans are flocking to Abbott looking for Willie. They won't see him, and you won't see him in this story because Willie's laying low until showtime tomorrow. But at the general store, the traffic is a welcome and very profitable change. People coming around to see Willie?
Right, yeah, you wonder where he lives and all that.
Was he up here?
He was here yesterday. I didn't see him this morning. Yes, he came in yesterday and he's riding his bicycle, you know, eating ice cream.
Ice cream for Willie, but beer for his fans. Are expecting to sell 2,000 kegs of beer here tomorrow, Ron and Jan.
Gracious goodness.
Oh, well, stake out your space.
Have a good time.
Well, not to be outdone, the Houston area is planning some
4th of July party to beat all parties is getting an early start in a little town of Carl's Corner. That's a town about 60 miles south of Dallas, the site of the annual Willie Nelson 4th of July picnic. Channel 2's Joe Collum is there this evening. Already in the swing of things, Joe, or resting up for tomorrow? What is it?
Well, Ron, I don't want to sound like a snob or anything, but I really do think that Carl's Corner is going to be the place to be anywhere in the country tomorrow. I'm standing on the stage where they're still setting up. Crews are still getting musical instruments and lights together, getting ready for tomorrow's concert, where they're going to have a gathering of probably the finest talent and music that'll be any place in one gathering tomorrow. They're going to have Chris Christopherson, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, Bruce Hornsby, and of course the host of this party, Willie Nelson. And they're expecting quite a gathering here. As the sun set over Carl's Corner tonight, the crowds began to gather. They're expecting up to 100,000 people here tomorrow, and almost all of them will be here to see the same man young Billy Bob came to see.
Tell him Willie.
Willie?
Say big old Willie.
We're waiting.
For what?
For who? Who do you think?
For who?
Willie.
Willie wouldn't like this, but I want to tell you why we really love him. He looks just like our father. Before there were hippies, my father was a hippie.
Look like Willie?
Exactly like Willie. I wish I had a picture.
Willie Nelson's been celebrating America's birthday Texas style for 15 years, and this may be his biggest party yet.
Do you know anything about it? Rolling Stone didn't call anything in. They came to the office and we gave them their passes.
More than 350 members of the media will cover the party, but the real money's coming from the fans. At the general store in Abbott, Willie Nelson's hometown 10 miles from Carl's Corner, they're having their busiest weekend ever. You like that, huh? You like the idea of a lot of people coming in here and spending some money?
Sure, man, yeah, that's what you're here for. After all, that's... I like this.
The biggest smile in Carl's Corner this July 4th will belong to Carl himself, the truck stop owner who met and befriended Nelson 7 months ago.
And then Willie one day asked me, said, Carl, you want to have a picnic? I said, I was going to go run out here and get a bucket of chicken, you know, and a couple of rod and reel. We're going to go have a picnic. And Willie said, well, Carl, how about a little bigger picnic than that?
Carl Cornelius would like to see about 500,000 people here tomorrow, he said, but they're expecting, as I said earlier, 90 to 100,000 people, which will be probably the biggest Willie Nelson July 4th party ever. and they're still working. They're going to be working through the night, and the music gets going about noon tomorrow. Ron, I wish you could be here.
Joe, you go for me, okay? Thank you very much. Have a good time. Joe Collum at Carl's Corner.
You know, this is the 15th year in a row that Willie and his buddies have put on a 4th of July picnic that tops them all.
And they've been eating, drinking, singing, and partying since before noon. Channel 2's Joe Collum is among thousands who showed up and joins us from Carl's Corner where the heat is on. Joe?
I'm sorry I can't hear you very well. Joe Walsh just came on the stage behind me. He plays very loud music. In fact, it's been a very long, very hot day of very loud music.
Whiskey rather take my mind. Don't let a memory torture me.
Willie Nelson knows how to put on a picnic. Nelson's formula requires good music.
You're all I got, take care of me.
And he and his friends have been providing plenty of that today. It also requires a lot of picnickers, and tens of thousands of them showed up here today. They came to enjoy Nelson's music and to celebrate Independence Day. Stars and stripes were plentiful. Flags were selling for $3 apiece. There was also plenty of fried chicken.
And how is that chicken?
It's good.
Finger licking good.
Finger licking good.
Shake and bake and I hail.
And there was also plenty of beer, 2,000 kegs. Fortunately, there was no shortage of portable potties. Some people drank a little bit too much today, but aside from a couple of minor scuffles, people are having a pleasant, peaceful time. When they're not listening to music, they're ogling at each other. But the most popular activity today seems to be trying to keep cool. Some did it by dressing down, way down. There has been a steady breeze here all day, but the sunshine's been intense. Shade trees are scarce. The only real relief has been coming from good old-fashioned H2O.
You're everybody's friend if you got a squirt bottle. Everybody wants a shower while they're out here.
This is Willie Nelson's 15th July 4th picnic, and he says he'll just keep having them.
The people seem to like it and want it and keep asking us to do it. And I've a couple of years said, well, I don't think I'll have one, and then I always wind up having it, you know.
That'll be just fine with the 40,000 or so Texans who showed up to picnic with Nelson today. Got about 4 or 5 hours of music left to go. There's still some major acts haven't played. Bruce Hornsby, the fabulous T-Birds from Dallas haven't played. And as I said, Joe Walsh is playing right now. We'll be back at 10 with a full, complete report on what happened here today.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Look forward to that.
And of course, there are plenty of 4th of July.
But perhaps up in the northern part of the state, there was one even bigger. And Joe Collum has been up there spending the day with Willie Nelson. Joe?
Ford, Happy New Year's. I know most of you have had the day off today. And I'm not looking for any sympathy, but I've been working all day up here in Carl's Corner at the Willie Nelson picnic. And it's been hard work. It's been a long, hard day. There's been a lot of bands playing, about 30 of them, including the fabulous Thunderbirds that are playing right behind me right now. It's been a long, hot, hard day, and this is kind of the way it went. It was a cross between a rock concert and an old-fashioned hoedown. Guitarist Joe Walsh rocked the crowd around sundown. But by then, some of the estimated 40,000 people on hand had run out of gas. Others seemed to be operating on solar energy, and there was plenty of sun to keep them going. In the heat, bathing suits were the attire of the day. But even that wasn't enough to keep most people cool. The only antidote for heat seemed to be cold water. Or for some, cold beer. For some, way too much cold beer. But there was almost no rowdiness. Most of all, they came to see Willie Nelson. And this was not Willie Nelson.
I didn't set out to do it. It just kind of came natural.
What's your name?
Not really Willie.
Blue sky smiling at me. Nothing but blue sky. Blue eyes.
The real Willie Nelson spent the day on stage singing away Independence Day with friends and family as blue skies and his fans smiled on them. This is Nelson's 15th July 4th picnic, his first at Carl's Corner, just 10 miles from his birthplace.
It looks like a great place to have it, and I think next year for sure we'll come back here and do it again here.
Does the turnout have a lot to do with that? What do you think about the turnout today?
Well, so far it looks great, and I'm sure the crowds will be even larger tonight.
You're listening to the fabulous Thunderbirds from Dallas right now. They're one of the last bands that are going to perform here. Bruce Hornsby and Range performed earlier today, and they'll probably be going till about midnight here. The crowds have been around 40,000, they estimate, a little less than the 90,000 they were predicting yesterday, but it's been quite a July 4th here in Carl's Corner, and it looks like they'll be back next year. Tim, Sylvia?
Okay, thanks a lot, Joe. A horrible 4th of July accident in Topsail Beach, North Carolina.
Socks too?
No socks.
Okay. Thermal shirt?
Okay, handkerchief.
Okay.
Two shoestrings.
I got it.
And that's it.
And that's it? And the Levi's? Okay, and you're leaving 3 pieces.
Right, 3 pieces.
Okay. 2, 3. You got a t-shirt, thermal shirt, Levi's, socks, shoes, and 2 shoestrings.
2 things.
I got it.
The Levi's.
All right.
The shirt.
All right.
Thermal shirt.
All right.
2 pack cigarettes.
Okay. 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 62.75 minus 3 for your old stuff, be 59.75. I got
This is free money I'm giving away, man.
59.75.
Take money.
60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You hold on tight to that between you and the rock and hard spot. There's 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, God bless you. You need to get on the bus. The deal's about to go there. We got to get you down there to the terminal. Okay, now listen to me. You're going where? Okay, you stay on that. Wait a minute. Both. You got one going south. You're going to get on the Houston bus. Okay, you're going to take care of it. All right.
Take care of it.
All right, now I appreciate you guys. All right. Let me get y'all off.
Okay. That's some of the stuff, isn't it?
Here's the other one, baby. That's some.
Yes, son. She's waiting on you. This is it.
This.
Make yourself home. Jeff, help him get some Levi's.
We don't have any weird pants. Not today.
You get probably the most direct business from the releases going on here. There's a lot of them. What's it mean to you?
Well, it's about 75% of my business. I first opened up the shop with not knowing, what it was up here, and I noticed guys coming by every day and going down here to buy and paying $3 to cash their check. And so I said, well, it's a state check. We know it's good. Now, I understand the bank charging for it because they don't have any other service on the account. You follow me? And it takes time to cash all the checks. So I just opened up and started cashing the checks free for the guys. And then added a clothesline. They got to ask me about Levi's and T-shirts and thermal shirts.
Let's get a shot.
And
what kind of business would you have if the Wallace Union wasn't down the street?
Well, like I say, I would have to just reestablish and re-gear my business back to what it was. I first opened up here. I have another shop out on South Sam, Houston. We opened up a pawn shop here. That's what we opened up, and then I kept sitting here and watching the guys go by, and then I found out the needs, the voids. The main thing is they have $200. They've got to ride a bus, they've got to eat, and they want some clothes to get out of the TDC clothes.
You provide 2 out of the 3.
And plus I cash their check free, and I put them on a bus. I make nothing from the bus terminal. In other words, it's Greyhound. They have a dealer here. I'm just a bus stop. But it helps my business by having it here. I can take them down here, you know, it's 5 blocks away, and they catch the express bus going north, the express bus going south. Then in the evening, again, this bus comes back. This one goes south to Houston with the evening let out, and the other bus at 7 o'clock goes north to Dallas. So I provide a service there.
So TDC is good for your business?
It's good for my business, sure. And the whole town, you know, TDC is the economy of Huntsville, Texas. Without it, it would be you know, awful slim around here. So it has been very, very good to me. And we try hard, and we like what we do. We try to do it well. Try to provide a fast service for the young men to get them home.
Great. Thanks a lot. How many people you get through here on a given day?
Well, that's, you know, kind of hard to say. One day we let yesterday let out 21. The day before, Sunday let out 135.
Oh, really? They get more?
6 years ago.
Okay, go ahead.
You and me.
But in clothing, I've always.
Oh, yeah. Because,
we kind of give them a discount, you know, something to be happy with, satisfied with. And sometimes we take them, you know, right to the...
Okay. Okay, Gwendolyn, just tell me, how much of your business do you depend on TDC?
Well, right now, TDC is, you know, what's keeping the business going. I made like about, I guess maybe off of the guys, I made about $800 last week. Like going to Dallas and to Houston. They usually get together, you know, pay about $10, $15 a piece. $25 to go to Dallas a piece.
So, again, some cars went by. So how big a part of your business is TDC?
The major part. Really slow, you know, now, so we have to depend on coming up here and getting the guys, and usually some of them we take them right to the door. So, you know, when they get to Houston, they're going to have to catch another cab, so we just take them on to the door.
Where would you be business-wise without TDC?
Well, I would make it because I get out and, you know, hustle more, you know, probably, you know, getting more business from the airport out there, or, you know, just making up advertisement.
But
in general, I might go out of business.
Without TDC?
Yeah.
Is that much a part of your business?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they did part of Can you get much airport business out here? An airport's not very big.
Well, it's not that big. So most of you know, we have a lot of business like on the 1st of the month. Everybody get paid. Then after the 15th, then spend all their money. So you have to come up here.
Most Texas cities have an economy based on oil, and they're suffering because of it. You rolling? Okay. Most Texas cities have an economy based on oil, and they're suffering because of it. But in Huntsville, the economy is based on crime and the people who commit it. And right here, crime pays. And in this town, crime pays. Most Texas cities have an economy based on oil, and they're suffering because of it. But in Huntsville, the economy is based on crime and the people who commit it. And in this town, crime pays. How you doing?
Very high.
Most Texas cities have an economy based on oil, and they're suffering because of it. But in Huntsville, the economy is based on crime and the people who commit it. And in this town, crime pays. We do one more. Most Texas cities have an economy based on oil, and they're suffering because of it. But in Huntsville, the economy is based on crime and the people who commit it. And in this town, crime pays.